Hello students, today we are going to study a chapter on cabinet mission proposals, the Mountbatten Plan and the Indian Independence Act of 1947. Let's first start with the cabinet mission plan. In July 1945, the Labour Party came to power in England with Attlee as the PM. He was opposed to the constitution of British rule over India. Therefore, Attlee sent the cabinet mission consisting of 3 members to India on March 24, 1946 in order to discuss and finalize plans between the Congress and the Muslim League for the transfer of power from the British Raj to the Indian leadership. The members of the cabinet mission were Lord Lawrence, the Secretary of State for India, Sir Stafford Cripps, the President of the Board of Trade, and A.V. Alexander, the First Lord of Admiralty. After holding the talks or the negotiations with the main political parties of India, the Cabinet Mission prepared a plan which is called the Cabinet Mission Plan. Let's have a look at the clauses of the Cabinet Mission Plan. First is the Federal Union, which also will be comprised of the first 4 points. It recommended a federal type of government for the whole of India. The federal government was to have only 3 subjects under its jurisdiction, namely defense, foreign affairs and communication, and also have the power to raise finances required for these subjects. The rest of the subjects would be under the control of provinces and princely states, which would enjoy full autonomy. Grouping of provinces. The 4th point, the British provinces would be divided into groups. Each group could determine the provincial subjects to be taken in common. A province could opt out of any of the groups and join another by a majority of votes. There were 3 groups, Group A, Group B and Group C. Next is formation of Constituent Assembly. A Constituent Assembly consisting of 389 members, out of that 292 members from provinces, 4 from the territories governed by a chief commissioner and 93 from Indian princely states would draft the Constitution of India. The members of the Constituent Assembly would be elected by the provincial legislative assemblies. The Constituent Assembly was to be split into 3 sections. Each group would frame provincial constitution for the provinces included in the group. Finally, the Constituent Assembly would meet again jointly and frame the Union Constitution. The next point is representation of minorities. Separate representation was to be given to Muslims and the Sikhs. Then formation of an interim government. An interim government at the center consisting of representatives of all communities would be installed on the basis of parity between the representatives of the Hindus and the Muslims. Next is freedom to join the Commonwealth. The Union of India would be free to remain in or walk out of the British Commonwealth. The plan was to be totally accepted or rejected. And the last clause is transfer of power. It would be necessary to work out a treaty between the Constituent Assembly and the United Kingdom for matters arising out of the transfer of power. Now, the reaction to the Cabinet Mission Plan. The Congress objected on the grouping of provinces, that was Group A, Group B, Group C. The Muslim League believed that the provinces of Group B and C would gradually form a separate identity and would decide to secede into Pakistan. The Muslim League thought that the Cabinet Mission Plan would not be acceptable to the Congress. As a result, it thought that the British government would have to invite the League to form the interim government. The Muslim League accepted the plan, but the Congress also accepted the plan, though a few days later. Now we get to the Mountbatten Plan. Lord Mountbatten lost no time in holding negotiations with the party leaders. Jawaharlal Nehru, Patel, Azad, Liaquat Ali, Baldev Singh, and others. In the course of his talks with them, Mountbatten was convinced that there was absolutely no possibility of an agreed solution on the basis of cabinet mission plan, and that the partition of India was inevitable. He was successful in convincing both Patel and Nehru and other Congress leaders to the same view. Now, the proposals of Lord Mountbatten plan are: partition. The country would be divided into two dominants, India and Pakistan. Lord Mountbatten plan was passed on 3rd June 1947. Okay, it was presented on 3rd June 1947. Let's have a look at the next point, relations between the two dominants. It was for the two dominants to decide what relations they would have with the British Commonwealth and with each other. A boundary commission. The plan provided for the creation of a boundary commission to settle the boundaries of the two dominants in case partition was decided upon. The princely states. All the treaties with the princely states would come to an end. They would be free to join any dominant or to remain independent. Bengal and Punjab. Partition of Bengal and Punjab was proposed, provided the Constituent Assembly of the two provinces decided in favor of partition. The other clauses of Lord Mountbatten plan were: Constituent Assembly. The existing Constituent Assembly would continue to work, but the constitution framed by it would not apply to Pakistan. A separate Constituent Assembly would be constituted for those parts of India which decided in favor of partition. Now next is transfer of power. The plan, that is Mountbatten plan, ended with a declaration that the transfer of power would take place not in June 1948 but much earlier than that. The British Parliament would pass an act for the transfer of power before August 15th, 1947. Let's get to the acceptance. Why was this plan, Lord Mountbatten plan, accepted? Because public expressed mixed feelings. First of all, nationalists criticized the partition. Indian National Congress has no other alternative, so it accepted the plan. Muslim League wasn't happy with the way Pakistan was divided but still accepted it. Reasons of acceptance of the plan: large-scale communal riots convinced that all the partition is the only solution. The partition of India is the only solution. Sardar Patel said India would be divided into smaller Pakistans if we refuse the partition. Muslim League had joined interim government. Indian National Congress had realized that it can't work jointly, administer with Muslim League. Leaders realized that if partition was further delayed, then India may head towards a civil war. The next reason is British were trying to suggest the rulers of Indian states to remain independent, and continuation of British rule would mean a greater calamity. So partition was the price for immediate independence. A smaller India with a stronger central authority was better than a bigger India with a weaker central authority. There was no alternative. Leaders felt that partition would keep away undemocratic procedures and constitution or separate electorates from India. And then India can evolve as a truly secular and democratic state. Now we're getting to the Indian Independence Act of 1947. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 was the legislation passed and enacted by the British Parliament that officially announced the independence and the partition of India. The Indian Independence Bill was passed by the British Parliament on 15th July 1947. The legislation of Indian Independence Act was designed by Prime Minister Clement Attlee as Indian political parties agreed on the transfer of power from the British government to the Indian government and the partition of India. Now the clauses, the points of Indian Independence Act were: two new dominants. Pakistan would include Sindh, British Balochistan, NWFP, West Punjab and East Bengal. The remaining territories would be included in India. Boundary Commission, that is exact boundary to be set up. Provisions of partition. Bengal and Punjab would be divided if desired by its people. Through plebiscite, people of NWFP and Sylhet would decide whether to join India or Pakistan. Later, they joined West and East Pakistan. The other points are: Governor General for each dominant, separate constituent assemblies to serve as central legislatures, end of jurisdiction of the British Parliament. From 15th August 1947, control of British Parliament would end. Emperor of India and King of England titles would be dropped. Till separate new constitutions are framed, country would be governed as per Act of 1935. Governor General would have the power to modify or adopt Government of India. Right of King to veto laws would be given up. Now, the other points or clauses of Indian Independence Act are that princely states would be free from all British treaties, free to join either of the dominants, India or Pakistan. Treaties and agreements with Government of India would lapse. British of Division of Army and Assets, bringing Act into operation. Office of Secretary of State and interest of existing officers. The dominance of India and Pakistan came into existence on 15th August 1947. Lord Mountbatten was requested by Nehru to continue as Governor General of India. C. Rajagopalachari succeeded him on 20th June 1948 as the first and the last Indian Governor General. India became a republic on January 26, 1950. Dr. Rajendra Prasad took over as the first President of the Indian Republic and the Constituent Assembly became the Parliament of India. Thank you.